Assalamu alaikum. Let's cook. Everett Jackson. He went to visit his white girlfriend in Idaho, and he never came back. Okay, people, Everett Jackson, a good young man doing the right thing. Everett Jackson was a 21-year-old college basketball player from Louisiana, 6'7", okay? They called him Big Ev. Family members said he was an outgoing, kind, deeply devoted person, real nice young man, doing everything he's supposed to do. Now, Everett, he had a white girlfriend named Gracie Coker. He met her through basketball. Gracie was also a basketball player at the College of Southern Idaho. And they met each other through basketball, okay? They met each other through basketball. One team visited the other. Maybe they had a game against the men's team. She's on a women's team. And these two met, they started kicking it, and they became a couple. So Everett, he traveled from Louisiana to Idaho in June 2022 to go see her. Going to meet up with her and her people. So he gets there, you know, they all making plans and everything. His family knows he's there. His sister knows he's there. They're communicating with Everett. His family knows who Gracie is. And he told his aunt that they're supposed to go to a wedding. So Everett gets dressed up. He goes to this wedding with Gracie, his girlfriend. But when he got there, he was told at the door that he can't enter because the wedding is a Mormon wedding and is only open to Mormons. Now, some people believe that Everett was turned away because he was black. And Mormons oppose interracial marriage. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Maybe that's true, maybe it's not. The Mormon church, they did have a ban on interracial relationships, they probably still do. But the family says that Everett couldn't enter because he wasn't Mormon. It wasn't about his race, they said. That's what these people out there said. They said if it was all about race, we would have told Everett he had to go home, period. So it was not about race. So that doesn't help though. That situation right there with him getting turned away at a wedding, it doesn't help with, you know, what we're going to hear about in the rest of this story. So the girlfriend stays outside the wedding with Everett, okay? They stay outside the wedding and they take pictures and everything. Gracie sends Everett's mother a happy photo of them together with their matching outfits on. Everett's mother responds, absolutely beautiful. Gracie says thank you with the heart emojis and all that other stuff. So Gracie is in contact with Everett's mother as well. They know each other. I believe Gracie did visit Louisiana already. So they know this. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows about their relationship. I don't know about all of Gracie's people, but Everett's people definitely approved of it and they know about it. You know what I'm saying? They accepted it. I don't know how they felt deep inside, but they accepted it. Now, that whole Mormon situation, whether it's due to his religion or not, it's just a bad look. You know, you have a 6'7" black man come to visit Idaho. He's the only black person around and he can't go into a wedding. He's turned away at the door. Like he should have known all that before he even got dressed and went there. You could have told him like, yo, you can't come in here because you're not Mormon or whatever, you know. So time goes on. Everett's out there with these people. Now, this group of people decide that they want to go water rafting or tubing or whatever it's called at the Payette River near a place called Emmett, Idaho. Now, it's a group of them. It's like 15 people. Everett is the only black one. So they all hopping in these tubes. They going downstream in this water, all of them. Now, they said that they missed a designated exit point, and being that they missed it, the river current became much stronger and Everett was swept away. Witnesses seen him go in the water. He never resurfaced. That's what the people there said. Again, Everett's the only black person there. He's the only person that drowned in this strong water. Okay? They search for Everett. They're using boats, drones, jet skis, rescue personnel, volunteers, all that. They search for Everett for 1 week. Nothing. Searching for his body. Where is Everett? His family finds out about it. They fly to Idaho from Louisiana. They begin searching for Everett themselves. They walking miles along the riverbanks. They're using social media campaigns, asking the public for help to locate Everett. Days pass by. They're frustrated. Their family members said they felt that the communication from these officials was limited and many of the questions that they had were unanswered. So they ain't really feeling too right about this whole situation. You know what I mean? So now when things like that happen, that's when you factor in, you think, oh, well, dang, these people did say he couldn't come in that wedding. Was that about that? And he is the only black person out here. You know what I'm saying? Everett's family has a lot of who, what, when, where, why questions. What exactly happened after the group missed the river exit? They want to know. Why are there different stories of Everett's final moments? Why wasn't the 911 recording immediately released to us? Why do we feel like we're not receiving enough information from these investigators? So this family is raising all these questions. Now they really thinking, you know what I'm saying? So finally on June 19th, a volunteer located Everett's body about 2 miles downstream from where he disappeared. So the family is done searching. Now they're really hurting. Okay? Now they found several factors that they say likely contributed to this tragedy. They said fast moving water, cold temperatures, he missed the designated takeout point, and no life jacket being worn. Okay? They said that these conditions can quickly overwhelm even strong swimmers. Now, there are many questions that these people had. Official investigation found no evidence of foul play, of course. Now, after Everett disappeared and this happened with him, his white girlfriend, Gracie, now people are looking at her side-eyed. You know, she became the subject of some online speculation. She did go on social media and post messages that had people, you know, raising their eyebrow. Then her social media accounts were made private or they were deleted. Everett's family said that we have questions about the timeline and some things that she said, some things that don't look right. Right after his disappearance, Gracie went on Instagram and posted a photo of Everett kissing her and a message that said, "You will forever be in my heart." And she said, "Give me a sign you're okay, my boo bear. Come back so we can get married, honey bunny." So the family's like, yo, why is she putting that there when we haven't even confirmed that Everett has passed away? So his family's looking at that, you know, side-eyed. Then she set her Instagram to private. You know, there were people sending her all kinds of messages. People sent her father messages, you know, things like that. And, you know, real messed up situation. There was a whole bunch of stuff. People looking at her family side-eyed or whatever. Condolences to the family of Everett, man. This is messed up, but man, look at this, man. I don't know what happened out there, but I know what could happen, but it don't look right. Condolences to the family of Everett, man. This stuff only happens to black people, man. Like, you go to Idaho, you're the only black person there. You go water rafting with this group of white people and you're dead. You're not going back home to Louisiana. You know, you so-called went underwater. It don't look right. Nobody else goes underwater. And then after that happens, now people are looking at all the other factors. Man, they did turn him away at the wedding. Man, he was the only black person there. Man, she is white. You know what I mean? So it's like everything that Everett's family or anybody else thought after the fact is what they should have been thinking before. You know what I mean? Anything that looked weird and suspicious, because the whole situation was weird and suspicious. When he got on the plane to go out there with these white people, you know what I'm saying? He's gonna be the only black person in Idaho. You don't know what's going on out there to meet up. You don't have no people nearby in the next state over, you know, that could come scoop them up if something happened. Nothing. You just out here sitting duck with all these white people, and then you're going on the water. And here's another thing that a lot of people don't understand. When young black people get around white folks, especially young like Everett, they still new in life. A lot of things they just don't know. They don't get a chance to make a mistake. And they're done. You know what I mean? Which is what I really hate about it, because I think that a lot of these kids, if they got a hardcore lesson, they'll switch it up. Not all the time, but it'll save a lot more lives. So what happens with a lot of these young people, right, when they get around white folks, especially a girl, they have this super Negro syndrome thing going on where they feel as though they have to live up to every black stereotype that these white people think they are. You know what I mean? So they start doing everything tough or, acting brave or being this and that. Sometimes you go out, you see some young black kids about ready to die over them white folks because they trying to act like a tough guy. You ever see that? I've seen it. You ever go somewhere and you see a young black person with a bunch of other white people and he got to act like tough Jamal, knowing he's scared to death. He about to die over these white people because he has to live up to a reputation of being a black tough guy in a rap video, which is how the big black athlete. He got to be Ray Lewis. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of pressure. So listen, I don't know how Everett was acting out there, but those white people could have got Everett to do anything. You getting up in some water in a river in Idaho with no life vests on. Come on, man. I don't even know if he can swim. They could have asked him to bungee jump. They could have asked him to walk with the lions. Everett would have did it, man, because he's out there and he's trying to make these white people like him by all means. That's what black people do when they get around these groups of white. I'm telling you, that's what they do. You know what I mean? This is just really messed up. If that white girl went to Louisiana, which I think she did, to visit Everett's people, even in the hood, she would have went back home to her people with her legs, eyesight, heartbeat, no problem. Black people don't let these things happen to their white friends or white people who come see them or their white buddies. This only happened to us, man. You know what I mean? Anyway, people, easy.